So I just want to take a minute and all of us give thanks to Dan, the amazing owner of this facility, for having us here. And he is going to come up and share a few words with everyone. There you go.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for coming out. Being part of the first big vendor event we've had. We've only been open 3 months, and we're still learning and still growing. And we're doing a lot of cool things here, you may have noticed. But between the disc golf, the beverages, the food, everything we're doing, it's all fun. It's cool. But for me, the driving force with everything we're doing here is what's happening in this space. And this kind of an event is symptomatic of the kind of vibe that we want to create here. And all this positive energy is real important to me. We can do so many amazing things here, but I think the driving force for me with this whole project was creating a space that's great for the community. Come here, leave your politics in the parking lot. Come here, meet your neighbors, have fun, share, grow, play, collaborate, experience, frolic. And so events like this are a big part of that whole vibe. So I just really want to thank you for coming out, and it's kind of like this is the fruition of my dream coming true. So thanks for coming out here.
Oh, thank you. Yes, give it up for Dan. Woo! Okay, so moving on to our next presentation, I'm going to be speaking on behalf of a local organization called Warwick Cares. I don't know if you've been driving around town and you've seen any of our signs of hope and healing. We have tons of yard signs all over town, as well as if you've seen on any of the stop signs or things like that, there's reflective signs that say overwhelmed, call 988, that's us. So I'm here representing our community work that we do. This work is something that's very near and dear to my heart. Having struggled with my own mental health conditions when I was younger and living with CPTSD now. I also lost my father, Mike Halstead, to suicide back in 2015. So this work is very, very close to my heart. But I'm really grateful to be in this space with people who care deeply about our neighbors and about our community. I am also in the process of becoming a trainer for the AFSP, specializing in education and advocating for our LGBTQ youth. So our work centers around creating accessible, heart-centered spaces where people can connect, can feel supported, and not feel alone, especially during times that are heavy, uncertain, or overwhelming. We host gatherings, workshops, and community events that focus on mental and emotional well-being, nervous system support, expressive healing, and human connection. I don't know if you guys have seen, usually the first or second weekend of May at Railroad Green, we have our May Mental Health Awareness celebrations where we have vendors, presentations, everybody comes out, and it's a beautiful, beautiful time. So our goal isn't to fix people. The reason that we started doing the yard signs is because each one of us that's on the team have lost someone. We are suicide loss survivors. And we thought, you know, everyone struggles at some point. And sometimes we just need that sign, right? To tell us that it's okay what we're feeling, or that to remind you that the world needs you here. So that's kind of, the signs are what started Warwick Cares. Just to be able to put these in place for our community and even for people who are passing by and they may be struggling. So it started with the signs. Then we moved to doing Talk Saves Lives classes at the community center, library, things like that. Free training courses to teach how to identify crises, how to help if someone's in crises, and to just bring people together. We've done Talk Saves Lives for just the community. We've done it with our local police department. We've done it with our EMS teams, fire department, everyone. So we kind of all have that education, but to also know that there's a difference between 988, the lifeline the crises lifeline number and 911, knowing when to call which. But we also are blessed enough to also have 311, which is Orange County based mental health services. If someone is in crises, they can reach out, they'll send someone out to sit with you, give you resources, and offer help. So that's our goal. One second while I flip through my notes because I will talk in circles. Okay. So the reason that we're speaking about this at this event is because winter can be especially difficult for people. So the days are shorter, the colder weather, less connection, being able to get together in person. So this can create increased sadness, isolation, fatigue, anxiety, or a sense of heaviness that may be hard for us to put into words. So this is what brings us to seasonal sadness, which is why we decided to name this Light Up the Darkness, right? So we're still in the winter. Why not be a little bit of light in the dark times, bring people together, offer resources, different kinds of resources. So we're all aware of therapy. There's all different kinds of therapy, but there's also other ways that we can navigate this too, together and on our own. So like EFT tapping, for instance, that was why I offered that. So speaking on the topic of mental health, I just want to share a few important realities with mental health because it's far more common than we realize. So about 1 in 5 people will experience a mental health condition at some point in their lives. Many more people struggle quietly with stress, anxiety, grief, depression, and emotional overwhelm without ever receiving formal help. Suicide remains to be one of the leading causes of death in our country, and rates of anxiety and depression have increased significantly over the past several years. These aren't other people's problems. These are families. These are our families, our friends, our neighbors, and often ourselves. We've also been living through a time of ongoing collective stress. So many of our nervous systems are operating in a near constant state of activation. Even people who appear fine can often be carrying things like chronic stress, grief, fear, exhaustion, and many of our systems are strained and our communities feel it. This is why community care is so important. Mental health support doesn't only happen in offices and in clinical settings. They also happen in community spaces, shared experiences, creative expression, being witnessed without judgment, and knowing that you're not alone. Sometimes what helps most isn't advice, it's connection. So the work that we're offering is gentle tools for emotional regulation, spaces to slow down, opportunities to connect safely with others, and reminders that support can be simple, human, and accessible. We believe that when people feel supported, communities become stronger. I just want to close this with, if you're struggling, even quietly, you are not weak, you are not broken, and you are not failing. You're human, and you're living in a very intense time. If you or someone you know is feeling overwhelmed or in crises or just needing someone to talk to, there is support available 24/7 through 988, the Suicide Crises Lifeline. You can call or text 988 or even chat online at 988lifeline.org with trained counselors who are there to listen, not judge, not rush, and not tell you what to do. You don't have to be in a life or death emergency to reach out. You can simply just be having a really, really tough time. Hope, help, and healing are possible. And if you are someone who's doing okay, your presence and compassion matter more than you know. So I just want to say thank you for caring about mental health. Thank you for caring about community. And thank you for allowing this space for conversations like this. If you go over to my table, I also have 988 necklaces that are available for sale. Half of the proceeds that I make for those, I donate back to Warwick Cares so that we can continue having our training classes and our training courses. And one final thing, I have to do it in honor of Judy, our founder of Warwick Cares. We have something called the Tale of the Starfish, which we read at all of our gatherings. It all started when a young girl was walking along a beach, upon which thousands of starfish had been washed up during a terrible storm. When she came to each starfish, she would pick it up and would throw it back into the ocean. People watched her with amusement. She had been doing this for some time when a man approached her and said, "Little girl, why are you doing this? Look at this beach. You can't save all these starfish. You can't begin to make a difference." The girl seemed crushed, but after a few moments, she bent down, picked up another starfish, and hurled it as far as she could into the ocean. Then she looked at that man and said, "Well, I made a difference for that one." The old man looked at the girl inquisitively and thought about what she had done and said. Inspired, he joined the little girl in throwing starfish back into the sea. Soon others joined, and all the starfish were saved. That's why we started Warwick Cares, because it matters even if we save just one starfish. So thank you for coming to my talk. Thank you.